The Walt Disney Company, now under the direction of Wall Street executives, suddenly loves the red, white, and blue USA, USA, they chant, even as celebrities run away from the 250th celebration. Get ready. There's a combination of ABC News and the Disney parks about to happen, 24 hours of programming, and we're here to say, maybe the economy has shifted. Maybe Disney now recognizes America is where the money is. What a fun day. What a great day. Thank you, folks, for joining us here on TPP, where all the news should be fun. And let's get started because, well, it turns out Disney loves the red, white, and blue, the Star-Spangled Banner, in ways that not even we could have believed just a few months ago. Let's talk about it right now. The Walt Disney Company is doubling down all of a sudden on the red, white, and blue. Can you believe that? Well, that's where they're at. Scott Gustin says, new Disney Celebrates America, The Pursuit of Happiness, a 2-hour ABC special airing June 29th, which will use locations like Main Street, USA, and Tomorrowland to tell stories of American innovation, achievements, traditions, and historic firsts. In this coast-to-coast event, Disney parks and attractions are the portal through which America's greatest stories, triumphs, and traditions are celebrated. You can see they've got their own little icon here. They're going to go to Space Mountain. They're going to go to Disneyland's Main Street. Very cool. Disney is talking this up. They're ramping it up. Says they got a phenomenal lineup of experience ahead of the nation's 250th anniversary. All new details revealed that for the 24-hour multi-platform broadcast led by World News Tonight anchor David Muir, featuring coverage across all 50 states beginning July 3rd through July 4th. Disney Celebrates America, The Pursuit of Happiness, a 2-hour primetime special will debut on ABC. And Disney Parks continues the celebration with offerings and community events honoring veterans and military families, as well as the debut of Soaring Across America at Disneyland on July 2nd. It's already at Walt Disney World. Now, the interesting thing here is this was approved, I'm sure, under Bob Iger, but I think Wall Street, of course, is running Disney. I've made that hypothesis. I'm sticking by it. And I find it interesting that Wall Street has decided that unlike what Bob was doing before, the way to win is to celebrate America. And so even as boys and girls were watching all of these country stars and musicians pull out of these concerts in DC, Disney, run by Wall Street, is saying, nope, we are full-blown, head-first, 60 miles per hour, as fast as we can get there, going towards America. Caro, who has made this analysis, you think? Which way is the right way here? The way the celebrities are going, where they're running away from it, or the corporate decision from Disney to say, we're all in, baby, we're all in on America?
I just think it's funny because they weren't doing this before, and I know right. I know 250 is a special number. Like even like Trump is trying to get like his face on a bill and everything, which I find hilarious. Hold on, Carol. You know what they should do? What should they do?
I don't want to give Trump ideas, but President Trump should start a $250 bill. And that's the one that he's on.
That's what they're doing.
What he's doing.
Oh, that's literally what they're doing, bro.
That's awesome. To do.
He beat me to it. Greatest denomination ever. That I can tell you.
Highest one out there. Highest one out there, folks.
I just went out there. I said, you got to give me a 250.
Yeah. So I think with double bogey Bob out, I think they're trying to like appease to benefactors to like give them more money, especially since they spent like the last 5 years fighting the governor of Florida, which I found to be a complete hoot. So there's probably some other stuff that's going on in the background that we don't know about. And now they're kind of like, look, see, we support America and American values. Don't you want to come back, you little plebs, and give us your life savings? That's what it reads to me.
And it's funny, too. Culture, let me go to you on this one. We just watched as they destroyed the American iconography in their parks, like just ruthlessly destroyed Rivers of America, the Steamboat, and I even think like destroying Muppet Vision is anti-American because I think that Jim Henson is one of the greatest American entertainers of all time. His magnum opus in the parks was destroyed. So, I mean, they've really went after the US of A, and suddenly it's a 180 as soon as Bob Iger is gone. Double bogey Bob, as Caro invented, and I wish I had come up with it.
Me too, because I think she's right. And look, I mean, that's the problem. Disney is nothing but missed golf shots for a long, long time. And Splash Mountain, I would add to the pile of things that were representative of Americana through a period of time that maybe some people don't want to remember, but we have to. When I look at what, like the scenes from 1976 and the bicentennial, and my participation in it as a young fella. At the time, I was in Missouri. And everybody had flags in the front yard. Everybody was riding around with American T-shirts. Everybody was celebrating this country. The fact that celebrities are out there not celebrating this country, that are, benefiting or reaping the benefits of being an American.
They're just so rich. They can't stand it. Oh, it's
Yeah.
terrible to be rich in America. Oh, it's just...
No.
How
can I possibly go on?
Yeah, it's more than a little disconcerting and off-putting. And I think that's something that a lot of people are coming to grips with. And this is making them very against establishment and very against media. And Disney doesn't need more of that. So this is why they're leaning into this. They are perceived as anti-American, and because they have been for a very long time. And their storytelling and the stories that they choose to tell have borne that out over the course of the last decade. There's been a decade of destruction. We need a decade of reconstruction in this country, and we need to do it effectively.
And I'll say this too, I'm not suggesting the economy is great or where it needs to be, and I'm not trying to make any kind of, determinations about geopolitical conflicts and whether they were right or wrong or wise or any of that. But I do find it interesting, Marv, that the corporations, not the celebrities, but the corporations seem to understand that America is really popular in the economy, right? And Disney would not be doing this, I don't believe, unless there's money to be had. Because I think, again, the Wall Street fat cats are running Disney now. They seem to be believing that red, white, and blue is a lucrative thing for them to do. At the same time, they're running away from Pride Month like crazy.
Well, look at the last presidential election. Look what happened. We saw where the majority of Americans were. At least at that moment. And, Liberty Square is still very popular. The American Adventure is still incredibly popular. And Americana is synonymous with the Walt Disney Company because it was synonymous with Walt Disney. It is, that's why we have Main Street USA, because Walt loved the American dream. And by embracing the red, white, and blue, they're embracing their roots again. I'm sure there is an accounting reason for it. It's not just because somebody's feeling particularly patriotic in the company. But I think that we may actually be out of the hot water that we were into a few years ago with Stories Matter, where I was sure that Liberty Square was on the chopping block, that it was going to become Haunted Square or something like that.
We were at the place where if they had switched, Main Street to Mickey's Avenue, it would not have surprised me. We were at the point where they were ready to strip out anything that was, Frontierland was on the chopping block because the idea that there was ever frontier is offensive because there were Native Americans living there, and thus this was their home, not a frontier. That's the level to which the conversations were happening behind the scenes about removing everything traditional out of Disney parks.
I was just thinking that only in America could you complain about being in America, ask for free stuff, and America would give it to you.
Right. No, I'm with you, Carol. That's 100%. Culture, I'll give you the final word on this. Is this temporary? Is it permanent? And more importantly, Culture, this is being done through ABC News. We know the proclivities of ABC News. So this could blow up in Disney's face if the producers at ABC News turn this into a political statement rather than a celebration of the US of A.
Oh, I think there are going to be a lot of qualifying statements along the way in this presentation that'll immediately irritate, frustrate, and or infuriate. I'm anticipating that, and I think everybody should be. I think you should not be surprised when they couch everything in, maybe you don't appreciate the country now, but we can change it in the future, and all the other garbage that they can peddle. So can this backfire on them? I expect it to backfire on them. I expect it to become revelatory and expose them for what they have been the last decade. I don't have a positive feeling about Disney. And you know what? For the last decade, that sentiment has been true, and more especially so since 2019. The minute they decided to move along with the messaging that was being sold everybody, that Carol alluded to in an earlier conversation, I think Disney doomed itself to be trapped in a political snare that they can't escape from.
At the same time, folks, we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. ABC and Disney, it's your chance. Disney Parks, let's see what you got. 250th coming at the end of June. And then celebrations, fireworks, all that. Folks, we'll cover it. It's the patriotic thing to do. And frankly, it's also our job here to cover everything Disney entertainment. And the countdown to 250 begins. What will the celebrities do? What will the musicians do? Well, ask Martina McBride. Probably not the time to dive out of patriotism or even give a whiff or a sniff that that's what you intend to do.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.